It's Mother's Day again. I've been doing the Mother's Day reading since 2014, which was the 100th anniversary of the first Mother's Day as a national holiday. And I actually decided a couple months ago that I was going to read from Spontaneous Evolution. And then I found out the next day that Swami Bhayandananda was going to be here today. So everything seems to be spiraling into perfect divine unity. Mother's Day is not a Hallmark holiday, it's a political holiday. It's a peace holiday. Julia Ward Howe, best known as the composer of the Battle Hymn of the Republic, issued a Mother's Day proclamation in 1870 calling for women to actively rise up against war and promote peace after the horrors of the Civil War and the Franco-Prussian War. In August 2001, I declared myself a master of spiral energy. My spiritual practice is the circle. The spiral is a circle moving through time and space. One of my most awesome responsibilities as master spiral energy is unraveling hierarchies and reweaving them into the spiral of life. I'm interested in unraveling patriarchy, matriarchy, and all archies and rankism, any structure where our power comes from position rather than power rising from wisdom and experience, replacing power over with the power together of the circle. Evolution is not a competition, it is a cooperation. The cells of our bodies began as one cell and cooperatively evolved to many cells working together in harmony. When cells don't want to cooperate, they become cancer cells that threaten life. We here at Interfaith have been searching for a leader, then finding ourselves without one. We've been facing issues of leadership and hierarchy, and patriarchy has become a key word around here. Most of this reading is edited from a New Dimensions interview from 2009, but some of it comes from the book Spontaneous Evolution by Steve Bhaerman and Bruce Lipton, co-authors. And Spontaneous Evolution is a love story where we are each and all cells in the body of an evolving giant superorganism we call humanity. Spontaneous evolution introduces the notion that a miraculous healing awaits the planet once we accept our new responsibility to collectively tend to the garden rather than fight over the turf. When a critical mass of people truly own this belief in their hearts and minds and actually begin living from this truth, one world will emerge from the darkness in what will amount to a spontaneous evolution. I begin with a quotation from Swami Bhayandananda. We don't need a revolution in the United States. We already had one, thank you. What we need is an American evolution where we, the people, evolve into the citizens of the country's founders dreamed of. The founding fathers, particularly Franklin, Washington, and Jefferson, all were informed by the Hermetic spiritual traditions and Freemasonry, and they really had the notion of the perfectibility of humanity. Much of the Constitution and many of the basic principles, such as the balance of government powers, originated from the Iroquois Federation. The Iroquois nation formed a confederacy of 6 tribes so that they would not war amongst themselves. This idea translated as a confederation of United States. The real epic story of the United States, still in progress, is the Americanization of the white man. The native tribes had neither kings nor nobility. The culture was egalitarian, with resources distributed according to need, not social class. Native American culture perceived earth, plants, and land as feminine. The basic unit of government was the clan, usually headed by an elder woman. The most radical revolutionary notion of our founders, a notion that came directly from Native American cultures, is that the need for government arises from equally sovereign citizens who enter into a compact to ensure a mutually beneficial and thriving community. The most important lesson from the Iroquois is the idea that authority comes from the ground up, not from the top down. The idea that we all have sovereignty was a very radical idea for those coming from Europe, where there was only the sovereign power of the king. According to the law of England, God granted power to the king, who then may bestow rights on his subjects. This is classic hierarchy, which places ordinary non-royal humans at the bottom of the lowerarchy. With the revolution, we had the opportunity to actually experience a kinship of sovereign equals. However, there was one piece that the American system did not adopt from the native societies, and that was the Council of Grandmothers. In the Iroquois Nation, the elder women were the ones who determined whether the tribe went to war. They could appoint or impeach a chief. And so without that balance of the feminine, of that which is related to the earth, we got a long way, but now it is time to reintegrate the sacred feminine. We left out a missing piece. We forgot to invite the girls. We are in this wonderful transition period, leaving behind the Darwinian struggle and competition of survival of the fittest. We now know that instead of random genetic mutations, evolution is the result of adaptive mutations, which means every organism is brought into the environment to bring balance and harmony. We did not evolve by accident. We actually have a purpose. But now what we have done is turn the whole thing upside down, destroying the environment that we were meant to adapt to, not conquer. How do we adapt to an environment that we are destroying without destroying ourselves? The fundamental belief that evolution was all driven by competition is being replaced by the recognition that evolution is based on cooperation and community. It's all built into our biology and extends to our world. But the most important understanding about it is not a passive process. It's that not that we just sit here and then one day tomorrow is like, wow, everything is all beautiful. It is based on the recognition that we are active co-creators in this process rather than disempowered, isolated individuals. We can change our beliefs and acquire new adaptive behaviors. We are participants in manifesting this creation. Now we have to actually start thinking like a human species.